Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Mink Life Motivation Live. My name is Monica Henderson, and I am your host for the day. So excited to dive into these here topics we got going. To Today's show is sales through excellent customer service. And we are going to dive into this topic. But before I do that, I must introduce my co host for the day. So we have Andrea Gewertz. She is the Wellness Thrive strategist with Wellbeing and Worth. She is also a Mink Life Motivation Master Trainer and the Dean at Mink Life University. Andrea.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, yeah. And we have Peggy. Peggy MacArthur is the owner and photographer at Headshots by Peggy, a headshot strategist, and the Mink Life Motivation Trainer for the Brand Builder. What's up, Peggy?
Hey, so fun to be here.
Oh, yeah. And our guest co host today is Sherry McManus. She is the owner and COO of the Lou Everett Group. She is an executive business and leadership coach, and she has been a dancer for over 20 years and semi-professional for 5 years. We're going to have to dive into that topic for sure today. Hey, Sherry, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to be here.
And last but not least, we have you as our co-host on the couch. So feel free to chime in. Let us know you're here. Give us a hey or, throw your answers in the chat as we want to hear from you through this conversation today. So excited to dive into the topics. Shall we get started? Oh, yes. So first things first, what is this about you being a semi-professional dancer?
Yes, I was. I've been dancing since I was probably, 3 or 4 years old, thanks to my mom, right? Putting in the good old dance classes, tap, jazz, gymnastics, you name it, for many years. And then that has been a long time journey and passion of mine until I finally had to semi-retire due to just joint pain. Kind of creeps up after if you're doing it for so long. But I did do dance fitness as well and created that as a side hustle for a couple years.
Nice.
Not as intense, but still having a good workout with a combination of some stretching. That was a really nice way, because how many times have we been to maybe a fitness class where it was like a 1-2 kind of stretch and you get all warmed up, you're like, okay, yay, goodbye, and I'm like, no, like that's the best time to really stretch those muscles, and knowing from being a dancer, so I had the extra few minutes, and it really helped the ladies in my class to be like, wow, I'm not so sore the next day. I'm like, that's exactly what we're trying to do. So yes. So.
Yeah, so I'm an ex-dancer, and I know it's like goals for Andrea to be. She's like, I would have loved to be a dancer. I think in one of the things at the conference, that was one of the things that she had brought up. But love the dance workout. I wish that there were more people who were teaching fitness dance courses. I liked learning the combinations and then like really kind of working through them, but I don't want to perform them for anything. And so as a dancer, I totally get that. But what do you guys think of her fun fact about being a dancer?
I think it's awesome. And it is true. I confess to, I don't know how many people in whatever conference it was. Life's a blur. It's like, yeah, I think I would have liked to have been a dancer or had more dance practice, but no one was available to take me when I was little. And so then it got to be too old. So, oh well.
It's never too late.
Never too
No,
late.
no, but in the way that, I went to a school for the arts for high school, and those people could dance. And I was like, see you at the party, kind of. And they'd be like killing it on the dance floor, because that was at the time, dating myself, when breakdancing was really a big thing. And so all of them could do that. Like, house parties back then were hilarious, because that was the activity was how much could you throw down on the dance floor. So
right.
Those of us who could not felt very much like, dang, I'm missing out.
Well, I know a lot of people feel that way. So when I actually dance, or like I'm at a party, I like hype everybody in the room, even the person who's like the worst dancer on the floor. I'm like, go, 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 go. So that
she's so loud that the person has to go, so she'll leave them alone. So I can just imagine the terror.
That energy you get when you really are freaking it on the dance floor, and it like people are like, "You're the best. You're so much fun." I'm like, because you know you
Terrible.
never know. But then when I broke my ankle, and I was struggling to walk. Then after that, I was really celebrating people when they could move, because you're like, bro, you don't understand how hard that could be when you can't actually do those movements. So now I love giving people that one moment where they're like, oh no, I was really getting down on the dance floor. I was really leaning in on it. I love that.
You should have seen that stranger. She was like going nuts.
She
She
was
was like,
like,
I was
"Love-"
so awesome.
She was loving my move. Yeah, the whole thing.
Well, as anybody that watches the show knows, I just got married a few months ago, and I think the dance lessons and learning the dance was my favorite part of the whole thing. I know it wasn't anyone who lives in this house's favorite thing, because they were so sick of hearing the same song twice, morning and night as we practiced, but that's okay. But I think it dance is one of those things that can really center you, and you get to use all of your body, and not, the movement, your deep breathing, all the things are happening. And so that's really fun. That's exciting.
All right. Well, we have talked enough about this fun fact. Let's dive into the actual topic of the day, which is helping us get motivated. And to start this conversation off, we are going to ask the question of our co host: why is excellent customer service essential to generating sales? So we will give our guest the opportunity to answer this question first, and then we will chime in after. So, why is it essential to generating sales?
Well, we all want sales, right? This day and age, if you're an entrepreneur, I don't care where you are. I think the trend is it's like we all want sales, but there's so much more to unpack than just sales. And really, there is customer service, and people want to feel that they're cared about. People want to have that relationship with you. It's all about connecting. And that is what true customer service, in my opinion, is about, that connection. And it's not it can be quick, but it also, if you're in a customer service, depending on where you are on a product or service that you may be selling, is that there's a long-term game versus a short-term game, right? And I didn't learn that until I was kind of into my personal development. I was like, oh, whatever, I'm like, quick sales, right? Go 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 go. And then I realized that, yeah, they're quick as to some degree, but when you have that long game and you build relationships, that's where more people will talk about you. More people, in a positive sense, will share your information. Oh my gosh, you have to go to this person because they got the best product or service. And it's about, again, it boils down to that connection. So I think connection is what I'm all about talking about today.
Oh, yeah. Peggy, did you want to chime in on what she was saying?
Of course, I really believe in the customer service part of it. I was fortunate enough to be raised in an entrepreneurial family, and I always remember my dad. If he said something, he stuck to his word. If he quoted a price and it ended up being, wrong, and he lost money, he would still do the job with a smile. And, half the times the client didn't even know that he lost money doing the job, because he said it doesn't matter, because they're going to come back. Like, they're going to come back, and, I'll make it up. They're going to tell people about me. Why make them feel bad, or why trouble them? That was my fault. I'm the one that didn't do my homework, and I'm the one that didn't know what I was getting myself into. And that always, impacted me. Like, it's like, that's so true. It's more important that your customer leaves happy. They don't have to know, like, that had to jump through 15 hoops to deliver the thing. They don't have to know that these troubles happen. All they have to know is, oh my gosh, you did what you said, and even better. And oh, wow, this is awesome. And they love you. And I think that's the thing, because word of mouth is the most important marketing you could ever get. Because if Monica tells me something is good, or Andrea tells me something is good, I'm going to be more apt to check them out than if I see their ad on Instagram or on Facebook. I'm going to be way more apt to listen to Monica's opinion, or somebody that I know and trust. And so keeping your clients happy is the best thing you can do for your business.
You heard it here. I'm the person that you need to know to tell you if it's right or wrong. Just joking. But Andrea, did you want to
He's
kind of
not
try and
joking.
why that's important?
I don't know if she's joking, everyone. I don't think she's joking. So, so why is excellent customer service essential to generating sales? I love this question. I like the way that, oh my gosh, I'm having a senior moment. Cheryl, Sharon, Sherry.
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 Sorry, Sherry. Oh my goodness. I didn't take my vitamins last night. So, so the way you started that and posited that, because absolutely we all want referrals. And I want to add one thing to what you and Peggy said, is that it starts from the sales call. Can I just say that again? It starts with a sales call. You're delivering service even in that call, even in that investigatory moment between your prospect and yourself. Like you're checking each other out, trying to see if it's going to be a good fit. And it is, I think, crucial to begin your customer service process right there. And because that in and of itself, sometimes like that intake gets people buzzing about you even before they begin the service. And so I think that is key, and like sometimes we forget about that. And so that's my 2 cents on how essential that is.
Yeah, I interview a lot of coaches, a lot of coaches through the conferences, and actually getting people onto the show. And there are a lot of times where I have this conversation with people who are like, "Oh yeah, I help people close sales," and I'm like, "Okay, awesome. Well, the conversation we're going to have is about customer service," and they're like, "Oh no, I don't do customer service. I talk about sales." And I think that is the biggest disservice to the person you are serving, the person that you want to actually have in your be your customer, by you not even thinking that that sales process, like Andrea was saying, is a part of the customer service. It is essentially the date before you marry them, right? It's that part where they're getting to know you, what your style is, who you are, and whether or not they're going to want to work with you. And so if you are thinking that, oh well, no, I don't start serving them until after I get paid, you got another thing coming. You may not get paid if you don't actually think about that service that happens before. And the reason why I know this is true is because of my vast years of being in retail, where all of our service happened before they paid us, right? All of it. Before they even walked to the register to pay us, we had to give them great service beforehand before we were able to get money. So if you are in a service professional, usually it's the other way around, right? Like usually if you're a coach or a subject matter expert, or even maybe a technician of sorts, and they pay you and then you start the work. Understand, take a note from the retail space and understand that that process before they get to your register is actually what they're buying, not what happens after the fact. So that is a lovely conversation about it. I think we can keep moving on because I feel like this panel, this set of co-hosts are like raring to go for the next question. So the next section that we're going to talk about really is about staying inspired. And I know this show, we really focus our energies on being inspired because in order for you to keep moving forward, it is so important for you to stay inspired, staying encouraged, and really kind of knowing that you are not alone in your your plight to be successful in your business. And all of us have all had our own experiences with some ups and downs on being in business, including maybe not having the best customer experience happen, right? And so I would love for each of us to give a short anecdote about how you can recover from a poor customer experience. So, who would like to go first? Should we mix it up a little bit? And oh, Andrea. Okay, Andrea, you can go first.
Um, how do people go, can you recover? I think people panic at first. And the first thing is zero panic. And remember who has to be happy first. Peggy and I both kind of like this, because when you make this right, when you take someone from, I can't stand you, to thank you for making it right, you've done something in their minds that's humongous. Like they're like, they turned this really bad situation around. And you went even sometimes more kudos, because they're like, if something goes wrong, this person, the owner, is aware enough to sit there to endeavor to make it better and make it right. So I think it's first thing is put your ego aside and remember who you're there to serve. So that's the quick part, but that's the first step.
Absolutely. Sherry, do you have any personal experience with making it right, a poor customer experience?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I just want before I answer that, I want to add on to what you were saying is that is take ownership. It's that accountability. Listening out, don't be afraid that there was something that was maybe unexpected. There was something that was just that poor experience. And if you really learn, take this as a learning opportunity, you can sit back and be like, okay, now I know going forward I won't do or I will do XYZ. So for example, we had a poor customer experience with the as a restaurant, right? My husband and I were just dining out, just something casual, and just the waitress wasn't just in it. It was just really bad experience, and maybe she had a bad day. Who knows? Just very curt, just very straight to the point, just not personable. Not to say you have to tell us everything, but just didn't have that connection. And it was like, okay. And the food was just okay. Didn't really, it's just all in all, just was this kind of like a meh, experience. So my husband are very prone to actually share our experience with the manager. And we expressed our disappointment and be like, hey, I'm really disappointed in this. We've heard really good reviews. And what can is there anything you can do? We weren't looking for anything, but we wanted to share that bit of information. So maybe that person was having a bad day. Maybe this is really how she is. Maybe that could turn things around. And the gentleman actually appreciated it. He's like, yeah, thank you so much. We'll take care of it from there. And then he went over and beyond and gave us a like $10 little gift card for next time. He's like, we would love to have you back and have a better experience on us. And that at least that was a gesture, and we appreciated that. To at least we were heard and acknowledged. And again, there's that accountability piece. Now from after that, don't know what happened, but all in all, that was it. From a okay situation, at least we left the restaurant a little bit knowing that there was an impact that that left us a little bit better at the end of the day.
The small gestures. I love that. Peggy,
Yeah.
did you want to share?
Yes, I'll follow these two. This was perfect. I agree with everything that both of you said. And I love that you said you felt heard. I think that right there is key. Put your ego down and listen. I feel like, and maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like my business is a bit unique where um, I can do everything perfect to my best ability, and the images that I present someone can be wonderful, but they may have be self-conscious about their own body image things, so they may hate looking at themselves no matter how great the whole world thinks the images are. So I learned early on when people say, oh, these are terrible, or that that it's not me personal, it's something that they're going through. So I had to learn really early on to separate that, whatever harsh things my clients saying, that they're saying it to me, but they're not saying it to me. It's their own insecurities, their own troubles, their own things. And then trying to figure out how to take that situation and still, even maybe let them see the beauty in themselves, like show them, point out, like show them, listen to them, let them tell me what a terrible job I did and how they look, whatever they feel like they look. And then with actual love and caring, show them the beauty and why this was good. And if they still just know I hate this, then like have a discussion. Okay, let's reshoot it. Let's maybe wear a different color. Maybe you would look better in a different color. Maybe we'll use a different approach at these. But I think that what you said, Sherry, was key, is letting your clients feel heard, because that, to me, I'm that person. Like, I don't care if you fix it, but by God, hear me out. Acknowledge that what I experienced was not what you promised me I was going to experience.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The the common thread, right, is that like that listening, and I think that's something that introverts do really, really well, right? But if you really think about it as from a leadership standpoint, our job is to be problem solvers, right? Our whole job, everything that we do in our business is about solving a problem. And so if accidentally in that solving someone's problem, you create another problem, then your job is not done yet. Your job is then to continue to solve the problem until they are complete, until they are left better than they were originally when they first interacted with you. And so I think when you are helping people recover from a poor customer experience, the super important part is for you to realize that your job as a problem solver isn't done until their problems are solved, or at least they're better off than you left them, right? You do no more harm than what they originally were there for. And even if that means referring them to someone else to fix the problem that you solved. And if we can stay out of ego, like Peggy was saying, and really just think about like if you were in their shoes and if you were the one who had this problem, how would you want to be taken care of, and then take it to the next step. Now, how are they telling you that they want to be taken care of? And combining those two experiences, you really can recover from that. And like Andrea said, when you can make someone become a raving fan after you royally messed up, then that person becomes not only a customer for life, but they become the best kind of advocate, because everyone can sing praises from great experiences. But when you can turn a bad experience around, that really says a lot about your character and who you are and as a company. And so it's so important to kind of dive into um, that process almost in like, oh, I've created another problem. Well, that's not what I want for you. I will be so happy to fix this for you, and kind of be almost grateful for the opportunity to be able to fix it, because there are a lot of people who have bad experiences who say nothing to you. We'll wait to put it on on a website and just let you kind of hang out there as just horrible person. But when you are given the opportunity to fix a problem, you should almost be overjoyed that you were given that second chance in the first place. They clearly wanted you to be better than you were, and they're giving you the option to make it a better thing. So we got to keep this train moving, and it's my job to make sure that we do that. So we are going to dive into our next topic, but before we do, I want you to make sure that you understand that in Mink Life Motivation, it is all about keeping networking, and it's not about really who can I hand my card to, but it's more about who can I'm messing up the controls here. It's fine. Who can I ask for help? And so today's question is really about that. Who should you surround yourself with when improving your sales and customer service skills? So we will let our guest go first this time. So who should you surround yourself with?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So we need as leaders, as a person, uh, you need to surround yourself with people that lift you up. We all have what I call them. I learned is sandpaper people. You have people that just kind of grind on you, that just kind of like that brings your energy down. They're sandpaper. You know how just rough, right? Well, you don't want those people in your life. You just don't. And it
I
just
like
brings
that.
your energy down. Yeah,
Sandpaper.
sandpaper people.
That's
you
good.
want you want to have people that lift you up, that feel energized, that want to have that motivation. So it's almost as if you can just do anything. Those are the type of people that you want to and should have around you. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It can be a good, in a handful. I mean, look at this group here. I mean, you ladies are fantastic. Just the three of you alone, if you didn't have anything else, I'm sure you'd be all uplifted the rest of the day, week, and years to come.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that is something short and sweet, is to that you want to have that feeling and to be intentional on who you or put yourself around. To do they deplete your energy? Are they sandpaper on you? or do they feel uplifting to move forward and just keep gravitating towards that positive energy?
I feel like the opposite is like, is it a sandpaper friend or a silk friend?
Ah, yeah.
Silky and smooth, and let's just get it all like.
Yeah.
We had that conversation before we went on camera. Monica's my sandpaper friend. Go fix your face, Becky.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's have Andrea go next.
I don't think I can follow sandpaper people. I'm sitting here going, I love this.
Hashtag sandpaper people. There you go.
No, I'm going to hashtag it because I love it. I think that is so true that as entrepreneurs, you really need those people in your corner who will, with kindness, be constructive, of course. Like Monica and Peggy are having a moment over something that happened this morning, and I'm not even following, right? But the thing is that they're like, oh, you've got toilet paper on your shoe, as much as you have people that are like, you can go do it. Here's how I can help.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, the facilitators, the people that really can actually take a struggle that you may be having in any of these areas and turn it around for you. And that could be a variety of people. Yes, you have the supporters, but then sometimes you actually need people to manage your customer service and things like that. So you might need a VA. They become an important part, let's say, as an example, an important part of you delivering a smooth experience to outwardly for your brand and things like that. So knowing when you can't do it by yourself anymore and need to hire that person, you need those friends who are constructive, like, girl, your hands are full. You actually might want to get some help and pay for it, because you're going to stop making money if you think you can juggle all of these baskets by yourself.
So true. Like for the people in the rafters, like so true. All right, Peggy, what about you?
I agree fully. You need to surround yourself with positivity, but you also need those people that will knock off the rough edge, the thing that, your stubbornness. I can do it all myself. No, you need help. Or maybe you don't see that you are being harsh, and, somebody to kind of say, hey, I know that you're irritated, but you didn't really say that to your client, right? Like, you're just venting to me. Like, that's, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I love my clients and I want to give them the perfect experience. And, so it's good to have those people that will be honest with you and call you out on your, can we say BS?
Yeah.
Call you out on your bullshit. Because we all have those moments where, we're frustrated too. We're all humans, just like, our clients may be having a moment. We may be having a moment. So we have to step up and say, nope, it's all about you. I'll have my moment in the closet later when nobody's home. Yeah, it's good though to have that loving positivity that's going to push you to your potential.
Yeah, that reminds me of the conversation that Andrea was having before about mirrors and maps, right? And having friends who are.
I tried not to go there, so I'm glad
we called it out for you. But having your friends who are going to literally show you who you are and like, yeah, I know you said that, but girl, look this backside of you though.
Let me just show you
that
this.
Is not necessarily that awesome, right? Or the people who can guide you through how to do things better. But what I would definitely say is, learn to love the people who don't like what you do, because their intel. They're going to tell you exactly why. And if you get really good at not talking them out of giving you good of why it sucks. I always say, grab some popcorn when someone's like, I did not have a good customer service experience. Okay, it's time. Grab the popcorn. Be ready for the show, because they're going to give you all the goodness you need to know about why you didn't do it well. And that allows you to never have to make that same mistake again. That allows you the information you need in order to actually not have another person have that same complaint. And if enough of those people do that, and you are so excited to hear that information. And literally when someone's like, I don't really think your product is right for me. And I go, ooh, hold on, wait a minute, let me grab a pen. Let me write this down. Please tell me every reason why this was not good, which is why I always say, are there any questions, comments, or rude remarks? And a couple of times people have been like, why do you ask for rude remarks? And I'm like, because the rude remarks is really where I actually learned something. The questions give me great intel because I didn't clarify enough. The comments help me a lot as well. And those rude remarks is someone being like, you know what? This is what it is. And there are haters, don't get me wrong. There are people who are just going to try to tear you down, those sandpaper people who are intentionally trying to wear you down to nothing. But even in their statements, there's some truth, right? There is a grain of truth in that little sand that they have on their
Always.
paper. And so it's important for you to listen to it, consider the source, consider where they might just be hating on you, right? But where they're like, well, and you didn't even do this. Oh, well, maybe there's something to that. I didn't even do this that will actually help me be better in this space. So really, I guess the answer to this is kind of keep all the people around you, right? Keep the haters, keep the lovers, keep the silky friends, keep the sandpaper friends, like keep all of them around because ultimately hearing what people are saying is really going to make the biggest difference.
I think the key that you just said was consider the source.
Consider
Hear
the
it
source.
all, but consider the source.
Oh yeah, look at that. You just crystallize that. This is why great minds, like the collaborative brain, makes it really, really good. All right, so we are in our last segment, and we're gonna, as Annie from our conference said, lightning round. So we're going to help everyone gain a little more knowledge about this. And to do that, we're going to ask the question for you to share one tip to maximize profits through customer service. And we will start with our guest first. Sherry, what is one tip you can give to maximize customer service?
Well, the customer service experience starts out right from the get go. And I think we mentioned that earlier already in this conversation. Just because they bought a product, they were already sold ahead of time, even by the maybe your presentation, your tonality, your warmth, your smile. I mean, there's so much more that goes involved if you're doing a face-to-face situation or even if it's on the phone. Having a smile, as simple as that, but really having that connection with your person for your audience is key, and that will lead into those sales that we all want all the time.
Oh, yeah. Peggy, let's have you go next.
I'm going to say customer service starts with your headshot. It's your very first impression. It is the first thing they see and know about you. And it needs to go, just like Sherry said, from the very first impression all the way to the handshake goodbye. So that's my tip is think customer service literally from your headshot on.
Okay, Andrea?
Well, I'm going to go, yes, Peggy. See you soon for that. And at the same time, Sherry said the same thing about, it starts from the way you answer the phone. It starts from the way your video greets them. It's those, I guess, the first impression is the thing that comes up that encompasses all of it. But it's really important, I think, from the minute someone has taken the time to book that call and wants to speak to you, that that's the this is showtime, people. You better be on your A game in that moment, and really listen to inform. And you know what I love is, like, I think people really appreciate when, if they're talking to you and they're going on, I need this, and you go, I have a better source for you. My expertise ends here. They're like, but wait, how come you're not going to do it? This has happened to me. And I'm like, I think you'd be better served if you went here. And once you've gone here, then maybe come back and see me. And they're like, that's so weird. And I'm like, no, I just know that you'll be better served here first. And then, please keep me in mind when you're ready to do your next walkabout or whatever. And so they're like, oh, okay. I think even having that largesse in the beginning is important. So,
Oh, yeah. And what I will say is actually, it starts with mindset. And I know that sounds really funny coming from me, as I'm always like, what? But before you even get the opportunity to have the conversation, you must first set yourself up understanding that how can I serve? How can I give? I may not be the solution, like Andrea was saying, but if you can set your mindset of, I am here to listen to how I can help them solve the problem that they have, right? How can I help them find the solution to the problem they have? Then you will absolutely be able to maximize your profits through this customer service, because you will be a solution giver. You will be the hero of the day, and people will want to buy from you or the people that you refer to. So that is the tips for the day. So excited because we're at the end of the show, and you know what that means. It is time for announcements, announcements, announcements. And so, to start us off, we will have our guest share what her announcements are. How can people connect with you and stay in touch with you and work with you? We'll give you the opportunity to kind of share that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we're actually, we are a husband and wife duo. My husband and I do this business together, and we love connecting with people. Since we're talking about connecting, so love to connect with you on LinkedIn. We'll put that in the chat. The lulueverygroup.com is our website. But yes, reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and love to connect.
Absolutely. And Peggy?
Well, I am everywhere at Headshots by Peggy, headshotsbypeggy.com, Headshots by Peggy on Instagram, Peggy on Clubhouse. So come over and find me and let's hang out.
Awesome. And Andrea?
Well, thank you for putting my Facebook group is where I do a lot of my magic and my conversations. And most recently, I have decided to use YouTube as a place to do this 53-day challenge that I've put forth for myself. So I would love for you to find me on YouTube. Peggy's going to help me actually tell you where that is. But if you just look up my name, Andrea Gewirtz, I think there's only one of me. So become a subscriber so I can actually put like a little byline on YouTube. But I'm doing a 53-day wise woman wisdom moments. I started yesterday because it's 53 days from yesterday to the new year. And it's also to celebrate the fact that I just entered my 53rd walk around the sun. So stay tuned. There'll be all kinds of wisdom moments about that. And of course, join my Facebook group so we can have some more conversation and connect.
Awesome. And as usual, we have lots of announcements for Mink Life Motivation. And so why don't we tell you what the announcements are for our community, our courses, and our conferences. And that really starts with, guess what? It is, what's next? The next global virtual conference is, because it's time to level up. We have one more left. Next week, November 18th and 19th, we will be leveling up in the conference for London time zone, 9 to 4 London UK time. You don't want to miss it. Passes are on sale right now at Next Global Virtual Conference. Holla if you need a pass and let me know. And we would love to see you there. We have an amazing group of people who are coming together from the UK. Also in our community, every single day, 6 days a week, we are coming together to help you clear your to-do list by using time-focused work segments, be free to do what you love by creating more time in your day, and have all the support you need by working with trainers, coworkers, and independently. Make sure you get every single task on your to-do list gets cleaned up by increasing your life and business management skills. We do that in the incubator. And I am so excited to have more people kind of show up in that space. And our community is growing. So we'd love to see you there as well. And that brings us to the end of the show, which means it's time for my favorite one, which is the credits. And I want to thank my co-hosts, Peggy, Andrea, and Sherry for being here with me today. And obviously to Peggy for this lovely, didn't she do me great today, guys? But I want to remind you to activate the power. You have the power to activate the vision within. Don't forget, sharing is caring. So hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm not sure exactly what platform you're watching this on, but don't forget, hit those replays. Let us know what you think. We would love to continue this conversation with you. Thank you so much. We will see you here next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.